Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia and this is the Frontline Changes Report for the day of 919 for the 30th of August. And I have to really question, are the Ukrainians even defending at all anymore? It's ridiculous. And particularly I'm talking about the situation in the Donetsk direction, in the Donetsk Oblast, the fighting at the Pokrov front and the Donetsk front. And so we were going to cover this. Not a lot of frontline changes, but the frontline changes are huge. And but first thing first, there is still we have to give the copiums to the Ukrainians because Ukrainians are still making progress, very slight progress over in the Kursk front. There is frontline changes over in Kiev and also at Chekskaya Konopelka. So frontline changes over at Pischany. The Russians are continuing the offensive over the Pischany front. At Stemakivka, Halisinivka, over at the Pokrov front, Kharkivka, and which is the big one, Boyeda, as well as at Vodiane, and which is also one of the major updates for today. So these are the frontline changes over the past 24 hours. Over the Kursk front, ignore the green marker, I need to remove that. So over the Kursk front, there is updates over in oh my god, I lost where I was. Now Kiev. So because it was so small. Okay. So there is Ukrainian forces geolocated along this tree line. And this confirmed Ukrainians have made some advance over here. These are allegedly infantries, and then they got bombarded by Russian artillery, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, and it's a small group of infantry. They're trying to find another way to go around. The Russians are still holding position over at Kiev, and the Ukrainians have not been able to break through. So it makes perfect sense for the Ukrainians to try to go around it. And as such, there was reports of fighting at Kiryevka and Kamyshevka. Previously, this icon was here. I decided to move here because I think this makes more sense that the Ukrainians may be having a presence around here and they are attacking in this kind of direction. And for those that have never seen me doing this kind of report before, this is part of the situation report. So if you don't watch the SITREP, the situation report, you should watch it because I'll go into details about all the battles because no frontline change doesn't mean there's no fighting. No, so I just want to let you know. So this is a frontline changes report only. So the next frontline change is south of this position, over at Chekskaya Konopelka. The geolocation of Ukrainian forces getting shelled by Russian forces, and the drone was actually really far away. And the sense I get is that the Russians are not anywhere near because if not, then they probably use FPV drone or something. So I gave the capture to the Ukrainians. So this is an assessed capture. This is not reported by any sources. And based on this shelling and the way how the front line is developing, I believe strongly that the Ukrainians have actually captured Chekskaya Konopelka. The Russians may be still in the region. Just that within the settlement itself, the way how the location of the shelling, there is no reason to believe the Russians are there because you don't shell yourself this near. So anyway, so this is the capture for the Ukrainians over in Chekskaya Konopelka. So but this is as far as the good news goes for the Ukrainians. The next frontline change is over at Pischany. So at Pischany, in the Pischany front, the Russian forces continue to make progress southward, and a canine has grown over in this monster. I think this is a saber tooth. So the Russian forces head downwards to attack this entrenchment around here, and it's important to note this is starting to look like an encirclement attempt. So if you look out, the Russian forces also have captured huge areas over in Stemakivka. The Russians raised the flag in the northern part of Stemakivka. This is not confirmation of the Russian capture of Stemakivka, but there is information or rumors claiming that the Russians have captured the entire settlement. So the Ukrainian mapping have also acknowledged this, but not as big as the one I drawn. So the one I drawn is based on the terrain. So because of the two crossing, there's one crossing here, there's another crossing on top. I believe the Russians have both sides in order to have such a secured sense of trying to plant a flag. And the fact that this is developing and plus the development south of Pischany, this is looking really bad. So just in case you want to know why this is important. So And so you can see the saber tooth is taking shape. This is the head, and then the canine, you know. So yeah, so now we have a saber tooth. After we have the elephant, now it's a saber tooth. So that's nice. So we have a new animal. And we got to move on from Stemakivka, and in the Pischane front, we move into the Pokrov front. At the Pokrov front, actually in the border of the Pokrov and the Donetsk front. Maybe I should draw and put Kalivka into the Pokrov front. But anyway, at this border region between the two fronts, which is arbitrary because I just decided it myself. So Russian forces have made huge progress around here, and you can see this is a massive capture. From end to end, it's around 10 kilometers. In the greatest depth, we are talking about a distance of almost 4 kilometers or 5 kilometers, I guess. Yeah, depending on how you want to draw the arrow. So this is a huge capture, and it really feels like the Ukrainians are not defending. If you have watched the situation report, I've already mentioned the Ukrainians must defend this line because this is the only place that looks like it's defendable, and they are not defending it, and they just lost it over 24 hours. So, or 48 hours. So this is getting stupid. So anyway, Russian forces geolocated to have raised a flag in 3 different locations, and honestly, I'm starting to feel like the Russians is going to run out of flags at this rate. So as such, based on even Ukrainian mapping, the way they mapped it, Kalivka has fallen to the Russians. They did not announce it in their report, but effectively Kalivka has been captured by the Russian forces, and this fell way faster than I imagined it would be, because for a long time the Russians have been stuck here. So suddenly they have captured it, and then we have heavy entrenchments around here, and it doesn't seem to make a difference. So let me zoom out a little bit so that I can draw the whole thing. Okay, maybe not. Okay, let's do this. Yeah. So the Russians taken all these grounds, securing the isthmus. They have went all around here. They even plant the flag over here. They plant the flag on the church, and in Dacha regions. In fact, the Dacha region once was interesting. The person just carried the Soviet victory flag, the red one, and they just walk down the street, in the Dacha region. So it's like it really doesn't matter to them. Like there doesn't seem to be any threat at all. And the Russian forces have actually entered into Helnisivka and basically overrun the entire entrenchment. There's a few heavy entrenchment here, and they just overrun it easily. There wasn't even any defending, and fighting has also arrived at Dolenivka. So there's no defending at all. So yeah, what the hell are they doing? I already said this is they can't abandon this position. So with this, if you have watched a sit rep, you'll probably know this is the beginning of the end for the entire Nevelske region. So again, for thumbnail sake, I could draw more arrows again, just in case. So the Russian forces captured all these grounds, and if they don't defend here, this area here is undefendable. So the Russians is going to continue to make progress in this region, and the entire area here is just going to be encircled. The Ukrainians will have to redraw. It's extremely undefendable. So we shall see how this goes. The Russians are just fighting in the rear positions of the Ukrainian defense. The strong defense line over here, no, it's all gone. Oh my god, what a disaster. So anyway, we move on to the next frontline change over at Vidyane, and again, this is another massive change. This is only based on Russian claims. So based on the Russian claims, the Russians the Russians have secured the entire highway region now, and they have actually starting to move very close to Vidyane, and they are poising to attack. They have gone multiple vectors, and they have secured this area of the highway. So we are now seeing the Russians able to attack from the north, through the northern half, through the main road, through the Dacha, and I don't think Vidyane will be able to be held at all. This has become an undefendable situation. For a long time, Vidyane has been like a impossible task for the Russians, and unbelievably, they are here now. So one hell of a year. So it is what it is. So that's the frontline change over at Vidyane. And yeah, so these are the frontline changes report. So not a lot of frontline changes per se in terms of location, but all of them are very significant. We're talking about a potential encirclement in Peshchane, Stemakivka region. Stemakivka might have fallen. We're talking about Khalivka has fallen. The entire strategic situation around the south of Khalivka might be falling. Vodian is now under threat, and then Ukrainians are still doubling down and tripling down over in Kursk, despite the entire collapsing front over in the Donetsk region. It makes zero sense, and is fine because I will continue to have a lot of things to talk about in the videos. So I will continue to earn money, and yeah, and you can continue to watch this one hell of a shit show, and cover all of us with shit. We shall see how this develop over the next 24 hours. The sit rep will be probably in 8 to 12 hours time. Anyway, have a great weekend. Not so great for the people fighting on the ground. Hope they stay safe, and hope they can get back to their family. It is what it is. It's not their choice. I'm reporting this. I don't have a say about what the war is going to be. I just report. So if they want to fight, I will report it. No, but I hope the war will end soon. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next update.